Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jason with Suburban Adventures, and it is the unofficial end of summer. Stick around because I'm going to show you how to winterize your pool for the winter season. Okay, so today is a chilly morning out. I think it's about 45 degrees, and it's technically still summer. I think it's September 19th, but it's kind of a sad day because it's that time of year when I'm going to go ahead and get the pool closed up for the winter. Now, I told you in the pilot that you can see we don't have a big yard. We live in the suburbs. It's one of the reasons why we call it Suburban Adventures. But we don't have a big pool either. We've had this for about 8 years. It's an above ground. It's 15-foot round. It's about 4.5 feet deep. We put it in because we wanted to give the kids something to do in the summer when it's 90 degrees out. And they really have enjoyed it the last 8 summers. So, but once a summer, once a season, what you got to do is you got to go ahead and get it ready for the winter. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. Now, I know normally we put out new videos on Tuesday. I'm going to try and get this one out today or tomorrow. Just so if you're out there and you have a pool for the first time, I know a lot of people put pools in this summer, and you're kind of wondering, hey, what do I have to do to winterize it? Maybe this video will help you out because I've been doing it for a while. I had an above ground pool growing up too, so even back then I was helping my dad do it. So step number one, the first thing you want to do is you want to drain. There's Chewy. Hi, Chewy. Chewy's our dog. It's the first time I think you've seen him. You want to vacuum the pool. Now, get it cleaned out for the season. Now, I'll be honest with you, I forgot to. I started draining it last night, and then it occurred to me that I had not vacuumed it. But as you can see, I got a few leaves down in there. My pool stays pretty clean because I don't have a ton of trees around. So, ideally, you want to vacuum it, but I forgot, so it's just going to have to be okay. The second thing you want to do is you want to drain it. Okay, now you don't have to drain it all the way. And if you have an in-ground pool, or you can actually just winterize your pipes as well. I have never done that before, so if you're in that situation, you're probably going to want to find another video. But I take it just right below the skimmer, right there. I used to do it a lot lower, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. So I get it just right below the skimmer and just right about at the eyeball level. Now the purpose of that for me is to account for any sort of expansion or any water I might pick up over the course of the winter. So I drain it a couple of inches, probably a good 3 or 4 inches, and I keep it right there at the skimmer level. Now you can do that a couple ways. I actually just threw a hose in it and siphon some of the water out. I was out last night, so for the couple hours while I was out, I just used that. Or you can backwash it after you vacuum with your backwash setting, and that'll take it out obviously much quicker. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the ladder. I could not even tell you what the pool temperature is. Our thermometer broke this summer, but I'm going to guess it's at the most 60. So it's pretty chilly, but I'm going to go ahead and get this ladder out of here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start dealing with this pump and filter. So there's the pump. There's the filter. I'm going to disassemble it, and I'm going to store it in my basement for the winter. Now the pump is what I'm going to take inside. The filter I'm going to leave out here. Not everybody does this. If your hoses are permanently in there, you're going to have to go ahead and winterize it and flush it. And again, I've always just been able to disassemble everything and take it inside. So if you have your pipes are actually permanently set there, you obviously can't do this. You're going to have to winterize and flush out everything, make sure all the water's out so it doesn't freeze. But I'm going to show you what I do as far as just disassembling all this and getting the pump in. I also, before I take the pump in, I spray some WD-40 right down in there, just to sort of make everything set for the winter, make sure everything, when it sets and it's not going to be used for months at a time, it's not going to seize up on me. One of the things I do with my pump is, most pumps have this valve down here. The filter. Most filters have this valve. I take that off, and the filter which I have, I drain that, and I just leave this filter because it's filled with about, I don't know, 100 and some odd pounds of sand. So I leave that. Once it's fully dry inside, I'll throw a tarp over it, and I leave that out here for the winter. I've got everything disassembled. I'm just going to leave the filter like this. You can see there's water draining out of there from inside the filter, and I usually let this dry out for a couple weeks, and then before snow flies, I throw a tarp over it and just sort of wrap it up. But other than that, everything else is disconnected. I got the pump. It's got water in it. I'm just going to tip this out. The pump is very heavy, so I think I'm going to get Cooper to help me drag that over to the driveway. And then I'm just going to let that sit and dry out for a couple hours today. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice out. And then this is what I'm going to take inside. And you can see how I sprayed some WD-40 down in there just so it's good to go, hopefully. Fingers crossed, in the spring. Alright, I'm going to show you two things that I got. Actually, three things that I got probably 3 years ago, which has been helpful. This is a plug that goes in the eyeball, and I'll show you that in just a minute. This goes in where the skimmer basket is, and then this goes over top of the intake where the water goes into the skimmer. Now, you really don't need this and this, but I just use it because it's sort of just to play it safe. And what that has enabled me to do is I don't have to drain the water so low, because in the past I drain it low enough that if I got any water coming in from my winter cover and it came up, it wouldn't reach the skimmer level, because if it gets in there and then freezes, it can crack your skimmer intake and stuff. But this keeps the water out of where the skimmer basket is, and so that makes it so that I don't have to drain it as far down, which is helpful. So I'll show you where those go here. So that's the next thing I do once I get all the pump and filter disassembled. Okay, so this guy here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew this eyeball. So this comes right out, and I am just going to swap this out with this plug. So I'm just going to screw that right in there. You can see at the eyeball level the water's right actually there. It's not coming through on this other side, so that's right about where I want the water. I'm going to screw that, just hand tighten it, and that is going to keep any water, if the water level rises for whatever reason, it's not going to get in there and then expand when it freezes and crack all this. So that plug is really helpful. It's not expensive. You just get it at any pool store. Okay? So this green thing here is going to screw in right down in there. The last pool I had, what happened was the water got up into here in the winter, and then it was dripping out down through there. And then it froze and it cracked something in there. So this is really the nice thing about this. So this is just going to thread right in there. Okay, so I got that tightened in there. Okay. Now this thing, like I said, like technically you don't need both, but this one goes on the other side here. If you can see, that's going to go right over that inlet there. I just use both this for an added precaution. So this just sort of seals right in there, keep the water out. Okay, so I don't even know what step we are on this, but I got my two boys here. They want to do, and our neighbor Grayson, you've seen him before, he doesn't want to do the polar plunge, but the boys want to do one last polar plunge in the pool. So, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. It's about 50 degrees out, the water temperature is probably about 60, okay? So, here we go. Polar plunge. Ready? Who's first? 3, 2, 1, go! Oh my word! How's that feel? Are you doing it?
Yeah.
All right, come on then. Let's go. No. How's it feel? Pretty cold. All right, Tucker. Ready? In 3, 2. Whoa! How is that?
Good.
Invigorating? Okay, so that doesn't necessarily have to be a part of your pool closing routine. I do not know what these crazy kids are doing. It's insane. Cooper's done. He's getting out. No ladder, so they got to get out the old-fashioned way. So as soon as they get out, we'll resume the instructions for closing the pool. So now that the boys are out of the pool with their polar plunge, let's talk about winterizing it, actually. There's a couple of different routes you can go. There's like a 2-part mixture that you can mix and then dump in to the pool and then circulate it around. Honestly, I discovered this. It's a pool winterizer in a pill. It's really so convenient, and I have used this I think for about 6 or 7 years now. It looks just like this. It's a plastic ball. The instructions are really simple. What you're going to do is it comes with a little pin, and there's little indents that you poke the holes in here, and then all you do is you just chuck this into the pool and it floats around in there over the winter, and I have had really good success with it. I got this at I think I got it at Agway. Those are stores we have in the Northeast here, but you can get it at any pool store or even on Amazon. But it is really convenient. It's about $30, so it's about $10 more than if you would use like the 2-part mixture. I saw that was about $20, but for me, it's really worth it because you just chuck it in there and it floats around. So I would highly recommend winterizing it. Just spend a little bit extra money, get this. It saves you so much time. Let me show you how this works. The directions couldn't be simpler, but it comes with this little blue thing, and you take it on the one side of this pill, and you're just gonna push that in there like that, and then you just turn it over into a hard surface, push it down in there. Okay, then in these little indents that you'll see around, okay, you're going to go ahead, and it comes with a pin, and you take the pin and you're just going to pierce 2 holes on either side. Okay, so I'm going to do one right here. Okay, and I'm going to do one on the other side where that little indent is. Now all you're going to do is just toss it in the pool. There it is. It's just going to float around there all winter long, and it sort of dispenses the liquid that's in it, time released throughout the winter. Super convenient. I really think it is worth a little bit of extra money. The next thing you're going to want to do is get something that's going to float on top of the pool surface underneath the winter cover. They make pillows that you can buy. I actually have a part of our raft that the bottom part popped, so I just cut it off. and I'm going to hook strings to the side of it to attach it in place in the center. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. I've also in the past just used 6 or 7 milk jugs that I've tied together and chucked in there to float around. Now the purpose behind this is as the water begins to freeze as it gets into the winter, the idea is that water freezing is going to press on the pillow or this thing that I have here or the milk jugs that are floating, and it's going to put pressure on that instead of the pressure going out on the outside walls. I couldn't tell you if it is a problem because I've always just gone ahead and done it. Like I said, I've either just used 4 or 5 milk jugs or something like this that I just, instead of throwing this away, I thought, oh, I'll use that as my winter pillow. So that's the next thing that you're going to want to do. Last thing you're going to want to do, this is by far the biggest pain of the whole job. Here's my winter cover. It's a tarp-like material. There's lots of different ones. They also make mesh ones. The idea is to keep leaves and debris off of the pool over the winter. I've got my pillow floating in there that's secure. And so now what you're going to do is I'll show you. You're going to just take the cover, drag it over the pool. I always try to do it with getting as little water on it as possible. It is very frustrating. Obviously, the bigger the pool, the harder it is. This is where it's good if you have 1 or 2 other people to help you. You sort of walk it across the pool, start at one side and go to the other. So I'm going to get my boys and have them come back here and help me put this cover on. There you go. You could see that went pretty simple. Back in the day when the kids were little and I tried doing that by myself, it was pretty frustrating because I try and keep the water off it. Obviously, it's going to get water on it whenever it rains, and I have a few issues here where my cover got a couple of rips in it, so I've applied some duct tape there. But next thing you want to do is you want to secure it down. And there's a couple ways to do that. There's this wire that runs around it that you can crank down by turning it, and I'll do that a little bit. I'm going to try something new this year. I got these winter pool cover clips because there's a couple spots, especially right over there by where my deck meets the pool, that it's hard to get in there. So I'm going to try these. They're only a couple bucks and see how they work. So I'm going to get that done, and that's pretty much going to be the end of it. Okay, so that's it. We're done for the season. We got everything all closed up. We'll see you back in, well, it depends, May, April. Sometimes if it's nice in April, we get the pool open early. As you can tell, my kids are not afraid to get in cold water. So if you liked this video, go ahead and check out another playlist. We got a how-to playlist with a few other how-to videos. We put out new videos every Tuesday evening. We got a great new video coming out this Tuesday. So make sure you check that out. If you're not already a Suburban Adventure subscriber, you're going to want to go ahead and you can just click right there to subscribe. And you can check out some of our other videos as well, okay? Thanks a lot for watching and hanging out with us this Saturday morning. We'll see you guys next time.